Hi, I'm Garcella Robinson, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. So, I already showed you guys my standalone favorites. Now, I think it's finally time to give you the best of the best, okay? I feel like these go above and beyond because I love series so much. Like, I want to be carried on depending because I don't like romance series unless it's a different person. Let's not cross it up. But I love series. I feel like those are my main go-tos. I love to be immersed in a story, okay? And I feel like there's only so much that you could do with just one book. But with 3, 4, maybe 8, I know them characters like the back of my hand. But let's go ahead and get into it. I just want to say the way that I got these lined up, I kind of just pulled them off my shelves. And I had to take my thumbnail pictures. So these aren't going to be in order. They're going to be all over the place, but I love every single last one of these books, and I will continue to rep them, okay? Continue to rep them. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm just going to start off for the first book. I'm not going to give you like the whole entire thing, but yes, there's 8 books in this series. I believe 8. I might be tripping. I think it's 5. Yes, see? I was right the second time. There's 5 books in this series, and of course, we have our main character. His name is Percy Jackson. So with Percy Jackson, he is a kid who pretty much he always gets in trouble. He always doing his own thing, and he done got kicked out of so many schools. Okay, he done got kicked out of so many schools because he just has a hard time being in school. He has his mom, and then he has his stepdad, and just pretty much life is just riddled with just hormones, okay? Let's be for real. He in middle school. But yes. So yeah, he's going through all of these, he feels like, trials in life until he end up hitting a certain age, and he goes to pretty much a museum, and he starts to get attacked by monsters. Lo and behold, Percy Jackson is a demigod. Lo and behold, Percy Jackson is a demigod. Found out his mom has been hoarding secrets away, and she tells him that yes, you're part god. So just to protect him, she ended up taking him to a camp for all demigods who has pretty much been just has nowhere to go, or who's wanting to learn about their heritage or wanting to learn about themselves and the things that they could do, and possibly learn who their parent is who's not in their life. So we go through a whole entire adventure with Percy Jackson and a group of people who end up joining him and trying to save the world as we know it. Okay, this is such a great read. And one of my favorite series of all time. Now the second series that I love this series, okay? I guess I would say I love this series, but this is a new one for me, but I feel like I just had to mention it. And that is the Mendel Hawks by Deanna Gray. Now, she only has 2 books in this series. But she's coming out with a third one soon. And I just have to say, I love this series so much too. And at least for this one, this is just a romance. I'm not going to go too much into it because it's literally just a romance. And pretty much they're in college and they fall in love with the Mendel Hawks, who's pretty much part of the school. And yeah, but yes, it's a romance. It's really good. I recommend both stories. Now this one is about her moving into a guy's dorm. Like, she lives with a group of guys in the dorm and falling in love with one of them. And the second one is about both of the captains from the girl hockey team and the boys hockey team. And they spicy. Pick it up. So, y'all know I had to mention my girl again. If you watched the first one of my standalones, y'all know I had to mention my girl again, okay? It's Tilly Cole. This, like, okay, I feel like there's so many, well, she has so many, I wouldn't say so many series, okay, but the main ones that I love by her that is a dark romance is definitely the Hades Hangman. Now, I got this off of, what's it called, I got this off Amazon. Of course, I feel like it's kind of hard to find romance, like, at least romance books like this, like Tilly Cole, the real deal, the one that I put you on. I feel like it's hard trying to find books like this in the bookstores, okay? But this is a dark romance that I love, love, love by Tilly Cole, okay? This was pretty much, I feel like the dark romances that I end up mentioning today is ones that I've read minutes ago, okay? I literally was on my phone, underneath my covers, scrolling on my phone, reading these books, all right? I feel like have not really been dark romances that I've been falling in love with for the past 2 years. They all just been either a little too much or a little just not enough, okay? But yes, pretty much Hades Hangman. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. Now this book is a romance about pretty much a biker group, and then it's a cult. Now, yes, because y'all already know, well, if you don't know, I'm about to tell you now. I don't like reading romances about the same character. If it's literally, I'll read a romance book about the same character if there's 2 books. 2 books, 3 is kind of pushing it. 4, stop writing. 5, you done enough, okay? You done contributed all you could contribute, and you do it too much. You doing too much. There's only so much romance that you can read in 5 books. Tell you the truth, I'm not even gonna lie. After the characters get together, I'm done with the book. But these ones, no. I could keep on reading these. But let's go ahead and get into it. I feel like I'm getting off track. I literally had to tell you my preferences. When it comes to romances or dark romances, I just like one book from a romance. I don't like 2. I don't like 3. I don't like all that. But different characters, I do. So in Hades Hangman, it starts off with the son to kind of like the president. Yeah, he's the son to the president, and I believe he's mute. Yeah, he's mute. He can't talk. Well, he hasn't talked in years after his mom passed away. And on their little bike ride, he was riding on the back of his dad's bike, and his dad they stopped to get gas, and he wandered off because he saw a fence, and he saw a little girl playing by the fence in like the meadows. So he goes up to her, and they end up having a conversation and stuff like that, and he literally falls in love at first sight, okay? He falls in love at first sight. And after that, they kind of like go away from each other. The dad ended up grabbing them, and he literally has, like, after he ended up becoming president, he's been looking for this girl who literally took his heart for years, okay? Like, I believe he was like 10 or 12, and literally he fell in love with this girl, and he looked for her as much as he could until he finally ended up finding her after she ended up getting away. And yes, there's like, they end up going through a whole trial and everything, but not even just him, there's like more into it. Like, oh my goodness, there's even a redemption arc, okay? There's a redemption arc by somebody who ended up infiltrating. Now, this is the last book, but I feel like this is one of my favorite books, is because I really love this character, and I feel like he's literally a hear me out, okay? He's literally a hear me out. And this is the end book. I believe it's Deep Redemptions. I believe it's Deep Redemption, because the more you read it, if you notice that it start to go gray and it'll start to go dark, because that means that's like literally the darker you're getting. But yes, and Deep Redemptions, man, I feel like that was the best redemption arc. And tell you the truth, like, it was well deserved. Like, this man, I don't even like redemption arcs. I don't even like second chances. Tell you the truth, I feel like once you F up the one time, I'm not really a forgiving person, okay? Once you F up the one time, there's nothing to be forgiven, okay? We're just done. Past are done. But the way that Tilly Cole wrote that character, she did such a great job. She did such a great job writing the characters, such a great job in building her own little world when it came to this cult. And it was such a great read. Such a great read. Pick it up. So, like I said, I'm going a little bit out of order. Okay, that's why you I might be jumping around, and this might be like, oh, dark romance one. Tell you the truth, it may be maybe a little weird. I'm gonna do it anyway. It's my channel. So let's go ahead and get into the next one. We're on our fourth series now, and the next one that I have to mention. Yes, I know, very cliche of me, and that's Harry Potter. I read this, I believe, last year. I'm okay. I feel like a fake. All right, I was never one of the ones who was a Harry Potter fan. Tell you the truth, it just came upon me like Harry Potter. I love the book. If you know, you know. But yes, I end up picking this book up last year. I believe it was last year or 2 years ago. I'm not 100% sure. But I ended up picking this book up, and it was kind of just on the whim thing. I was on a detachment. I was bored, and I was like, what can I read? And then they had like a cute edition of the Harry Potter series. This was before I ended up getting into like a lot of like pretty much I guess the politics. Let's not get into that. But yes, I end up picking it up and I end up reading it, and oh my goodness, I literally fell in love with Harry Potter. I fell in love with Hermione and Ron. I just fell in love with the whole entire series, okay? And I'm not really going to get into much of it. I don't want to give this book too much of a spotlight, but yes, this is definitely one of my favorites on the series. I will give it a mention because it is a favorite of mine, okay? I can't stop the books I love. But yes, it was such a great read. Such a great read. Now, of course, I feel like there's a couple of these books that you already heard me mention, especially if you watch my young adult and middle grade battle. I kind of feel like I'm going over and repeating myself, but I still have to put these books on here because they're still a favorite of mine, and I will continue to rep it. I'm just not going to give it as much spotlight because I give it more of an explanation in that video than, and plus there's, I feel like there's other books that I can reference to you or, recommend to you that I feel like could get a little bit more spotlight, especially if I already mentioned these in other videos. So I'm gonna have it in the link above, and you can just check that one out if you want to get more into the little nitty gritty on what this book about. But I believe I'm number 5. Yes, the next book that I have to mention is Aurora Rising. I love this series so much. So much that I bought it, lost it, and bought it again. That's dedication and love right there. J. Kristoff got my heart. But yes, yes, I love this book so much. This is a sci-fi book, young adult sci-fi. We end up having a found family. I kind of don't really like giving tropes. I like to get the whole background because, tell you the truth, what pulls me into a good book is not tropes. I don't like tropes. I be wanting the actual story. Like, literally have me invested. Explain to me how much you love this book and why you loved it. And if you end up giving like, oh, you end up breaking it down, like literally I'm like this. I'm transfixed. I'm gonna pick that series up tomorrow. Book ban be damned. Okay, I'm gonna pick it up. So yes, I love this book so much. J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman did such a great job in writing this series, but this is definitely a sci-fi found family. And in it, they end up finding a girl, and they end up realizing something wrong with her. And when they find her, pretty much they try to kind of like protect her and figure out why was she in this area that they like pretty much they weren't supposed to be in. And you just love every character, and it doesn't make it any better that everybody got a ship. And that's all I want as a young adult. That's all I want. But yes, such a great read. Pick it up, especially if you love young adult, okay? Especially if you love young adult. So now we are on to another one. Like I said before in our last video, I have already went over this, so I'm not going to get deep into it. But that is the Unwind series. Once again, this is a favorite of mine too, and will continue forever to be a favorite of mine. Like, every time I feel like a book is a favorite of yours. A book is a favorite of yours if you literally read this book. Like, I done read this book already, pretty much this series like 2 or 3 times, and every time that I read it, I just be thinking about, man, I can't wait to pick that book up again. You know, when you have that feeling, you just know it's a favorite book. And the books that I'm pretty much mentioning to you guys is exactly that, okay? Exactly that. And that's books that I haven't even I read the first time and realized that, you know, pretty much the same feeling, okay? But yes, I love the Unwind series so much. And this one, I feel like it's done so well in such a realistic world, I guess, like a realistic world building or dystopian. I feel like a lot of the times, like, just I feel like any dystopian is touching on reality, just a tidbit, just a tidbit. I feel like even with the Unwind series, this will be a perfect. Tell you the truth, Francis Lawrence need to pick this up. He need to pick this up because he's sleeping. This would have been a good dystopian story that he can tell to us too. And if you read it, you already one step above the curve and picking up some good books. But yes, in this book, of course, by the name Unwind, they make it where you're able to pretty much donate your kids. There was this big war, and in this war, they're like, "Oh yeah, I want to be more pro-life," and the other people was like, "Oh, I'm pro-choice," and they couldn't come up with a decision until this doctor ended up coming up, and he pretty much tried to diffuse the situation and was like, "What you like? I end up got this." I got this pretty much this experiment or whatever like that where I can pretty much cut the kids' body parts up and their body parts will still be alive and we can divide them and give them the people in need. So technically the kid is still alive, but it's still the parent's choice. So it was more like and then it didn't make it any better that when the war was going on, a lot of the parents was like kind of like abandoning their children, and the children was just going on a rampage. They were like causing hysteria, scaring everybody. So when they end up coming up with this choice, they was like, oh, it's the best of both worlds, like everybody get a part in this, but the only people who aren't listened to are the kids. And you really get to see what you would do, like what would happen if literally you take the choice of life out of somebody's hands, no matter the age. This was such a great story, and Neil Schusterman literally did his thing, okay? Like, I cannot stress this enough on how much I love this series. Look, I even end up going over the minute time that I said I was gonna do and give y'all a brief explanation. It's just when I get into some books that I love, I can't stop talking about it. So I'm gonna zip it and we're gonna go into the next one. Now, our next one. Okay, our next one is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. What book am I on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is book 7. Now, I love A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, okay? I love A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I feel like Holly Jackson really did her thing. There is not well, I can't even really say this because I'm trying to get into mystery. I'm trying to get more into mystery. As you can see my little collection behind me. I'm trying to get more into mystery, but I'm not a mystery girly, okay? I'm more fantasy. I'm more dark romance. Young adult and middle grade, but not mystery. But when I saw that it was a young adult and a mystery, who am I to stop myself from buying a potentially good book and then end up going from potentially to a definite, okay? This is such a great read, especially because like I was going on before I got distracted and started my evil laugh. Yes. Cut the cameras. Okay, stop playing around. But yeah, when I picked this book up, I really have not read a mystery book where it literally gave me this experience. And maybe I'm sleeping on a lot of these mystery books and I just haven't found one like it. So if you got any recommendations, definitely put them in the comments. I will be looking out for those if y'all do. But yes, I love this series so much. So we have our main character, Piper. She's pretty much like a golden child. But she ended up getting a project assigned to her to kind of just find, like, it was just, I don't remember the full entire project, okay? Not gonna lie. Tell you the truth, once she started doing the mystery, I couldn't put it down. But pretty much a guy that she knew and a girl that she knew, it was kind of known a known thing that happened where he ended up killing her, well, his girlfriend, and then he killed himself. And for the longest, she never believed this story. So she decided to do a project where she investigates to find out what actually happened and if the results were true, like if that actually did happen. And while she's investigating, she ended up meeting up with his brother. The I believe his name was Sal. The not the not the actual, like, the younger brother, but the guy who ended up, yeah, pretty much offing himself. Sal, he ended up, after he did all that, so she ended up meeting up with the younger brother, and they get together and try to investigate to see what actually happened. And she ended up finding out things that she would never have find out by her small little town. And the more you read, the more Holly Jackson just gets you invested, okay? And I can never stress this enough. I can never stress this enough. If you're looking for something where it's a mystery, young adult, and also where you're literally so surprised at the end that you literally did not expect that to happen, pick this book up. Pick this book up. I have not read or seen a movie or book that gave me the experience that the last book did. And I'm not even saying that to say, like, oh yeah, the last book is where it pops off. No. The whole entire book could be popping off. Like, she investigating this mess, she investigating that, she investigating things that led up to all of it. Like, literally, she unraveling secrets. You know when you pull a string off of your jacket and every time you keep pulling it, it just keep on going? That's exactly this book. Pick it up. Pick it up. When I say that I couldn't wait to get to this book. I literally could not wait to get to this book. When I say this series would triumph any series that I've ever read, it literally would triumph any series that I ever read. If they were to drop a special edition right now, I literally would buy the special edition. And that is the King series. I feel like ignore the naked man on the front. All right. This is the only one I can find on Amazon. But yes, I love this series so much. I love this series so much. It was such a surprise for me. And also, not even with it just being a surprise, you end up getting his story. Like, you end up getting King's story, then you get Bear's story, then you get Preppy's story. And they're all best friends. And this is one, like, pretty much a series that I will forever and continue to go back to. Like, I read this 2 times on my phone when I was younger. Then I ended up picking up the actual copy and I read the copy too. I ended up having my whole pretty much a lot of my siblings end up reading this. My sister, Kalika, and also my best friend Ina, and my sister Deja and Mariah. I had all of them read this book because I loved it so much. So they just had to experience the love. I'm a sharer. But yes, in this story, we end up having King. He had just got out of prison and he goes back home. And we also has another one, a girl who's homeless. She pretty much forgot her whole entire identity. She's just traveling with a girl that she met on the side of the street. And they end up going to King's party. So at King's party, she ended up seeing something that she wasn't supposed to see. Her best friend runs off, leave her. And King ended up taking her hostage until he find out what she knows. And pretty much she don't know nothing. She don't know herself and she don't know him. So they just kind of just hold her there until they figure out what's going on. And when I say secrets began to unravel that I literally did not see coming, it does not help that she don't remember nothing. And once the story starts getting deeper, especially into the second book, you actually start to see, like, you just start to see so much. This is such a good story. I literally can't wrap this enough, but I feel like with romances, I don't want to get too deep into it. I feel like I already told y'all enough, and I don't want to spoil it, but pick this series up. This is such a good dark romance. And yeah, Tia Frazier, this is not even the only one, but this is my main one, so this is why I'm listening. But she got other books where we get to fall in love with some psychopaths, okay? Well, who could ask for more? But yes, I love this series so much. Pick it up. All right, let's go ahead and get into my number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Our 9 series of the evening. What y'all think it's gonna be? It's okay, you don't have to wait long. I'll tell you. Malice by John Gwynn. Now, this book has 4 books into it. Yes, 4 books in this series. And the reason why this is getting an honorary mention, I'm not saying that I haven't read better than this book, okay? I feel like Game of Thrones might be up there. It's a really good one, but I have not finished that one. And then also the Blade itself, that was really good too. But the main reason why I'm saying this is my favorite is because literally this is what got me into reading big and hefty books like this. You know, I feel like this was my initiation into where the big boys come and play, okay? This got me out of my, reading like 400 or 500 pages. And this, man, especially experiencing different characters and not knowing what's going to happen. Like, I feel like with young adult, like, you're going to get the experience of, I would say, I'm blanking, but I would say that when you read young adult or middle grade, everything's going to come together, In young adult, it might be a little questionable things, but you're still going to get somewhat of a good ending. And then I feel like when you come over to fantasy, prepare to have your heart ripped out, because literally these authors do not care. They have no favorites. They don't care who they got to end to make this story good. And that's exactly what John Gwynn gave me, especially being my first experience into the fantasy world. And I love this so much. Now, I pretty much could go ahead and give you guys a whole rant about this, but I'm not even going to lie. There's 4 books to this, and they're this big. We would literally be here all day. But I will say this book is pretty much about war. It's high fantasy. They frolicking through the woods. Going to war. And there's a smidget of magical elements that takes place. You end up falling in love with a lot of characters. You end up getting experiences from a lot of characters. Like, these pretty much are our main characters: Corbin, Evnis, Veritas, and Nathair. But this was such a great read. Such a great read. I already bought his The Hunger of Wolves, I believe that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure. But I end up getting his next series, and I can't wait to start that one too. Just haven't got into it, okay? These books be taking me forever to get through, because I really like to dig deep. Because if you miss the most smallest thing in these fantasy books, you might as well just go ahead and pack it up, or either do a reread or do a recap so you could be caught up, because I'm telling you, I can't miss nothing. I can't miss nothing. But this is such a great read. I really love this. I'm not going to say that I'm 100% recommending it. This is more of a favorite to me. I feel like, yes, there's better out there, but the reason why this is, like I said, a favorite for me is because this is my initiation into high fantasy, and I love the ride, okay? I feel like so far for my high fantasy journey, I have been picking some great books, and it all started with this one. Now, we're on our last 3 contestants, guys. Okay. It ain't contestants, because ain't nobody fighting against nobody. These are all my favorites. These are all series that I will continue to rep, I would say continue to rep, but I wouldn't say all these books I would continue to recommend, okay? I just love these books. These are favorites for me. And the next one that I have to go into is Defy the Night. Now, this is more of a surprise than anything, because when I read the first book, I'm not going to lie, I rated this 3 stars. And I feel like these aren't one of the books that you read and you're like, oh yeah, just wait till the second book. Just wait to the, halfway through the second book, it get good. No, I mean literally on the second book, it gets good. Okay, it gets good. In the first one, I feel like when you read this one, it's more of a build up. But for those other 2, literally hands down, best books. Literally best books. Now in this one, we have pretty much people are getting sick, right? They're getting sick from these night bane. They're just getting sick. And the only way to heal them is by giving them this plant. So you have this girl, her parents were killed because they were getting the flowers and giving it out to the citizens, and they didn't want them doing that, so they end up killing her parents. So she ended up taking on that duty, and she ended up doing it. But while she's doing that, she ended up coming into a guy. She ended up coming, pretty much meeting this guy who started doing the runs with her to help the citizens of the thing. So after that, so while she do that, he end up passing away. So she end up infiltrating the palace. She ended up infiltrating the palace because she just ready to be done with them. Okay, she's sick of fighting, especially after the guy that was doing it with her end up getting hanged on the gate. So there's just so much to go into it. After that, she ended up getting into the castle. She ended up getting a position that she didn't expect to do, and she ended up getting a big surprise. A surprise that she literally did not see coming. This is such a good book. I feel like it has such a great romances, okay? Romances. And it's so great. It's so great. You really get to experience a lot of what's her name? Bridget Commember. I always get her name mixed up. Bridget Commember ended up bringing to the table, and I was so happy that she was able to get like make like, pretty much just make this book. Now I have read A Curse So Dark and Lonely series. Like I feel like every time I rep this book, I have to rep that one because that one was trash. Okay, it was trash, but this one was great. Pick it up. So guys, we're on our second to last book, and like I said, I'm not gonna give this one much rep, but it's a favorite of mine, so it must be mentioned. And that is the Throne of Glass series. I love this series. Well, I love the characters mainly. Well, I wouldn't even say the characters. I just love the story overall. When I first read this series, like I literally could not put any of the books down. I read literally all of them, literally back to back to back to back to back. And I was so happy to be able to collect this. So now, okay, the rest of everything else is I don't like them, but the Throne of Glass series I really liked. So yes, I'm not gonna get much into it. I don't want to give this as much spotlight, but I really love this series. So guys, we are literally on our last book of the night that I have to mention. Tell you the truth, I'm missing one more because I got the Hunger Games too. But everybody already know that's a favorite of mine. So I feel like it don't really need to get that much mention. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into my next series. And that's The Empire of the Vampire. So you already could tell I already had a J. Kristoff book up here. But I had to mention this one. I love this book so much. I am kind of sad I wasn't able to get the first one in special edition. But I do got the second one and I'm waiting for the third one. I'm literally going to be on a Lumacrate site ready to get that third book because literally J. Kristoff has not disappointed with this series. For real, I feel like when it comes to writing vampires, this man know how to do it. Okay, writing vampires, writing half vampires and everything, he knows how to do it. He like literally the evilness of these characters. Like, you know, I feel like he doesn't romanticize vampires. Like literally, he gives you what people who has lived for centuries, has a cold heart would do. Like he literally does that. And that's what made me love this series so much. So in this one, we have I believe his name Gabriel. We have Gabriel. He ended up joining like a brotherhood and some stuff ended up happening. You end up getting his story. Some stuff ended up happening that caused him to pretty much get banned from the church. And yes, he's a half vampire. So after he ended up getting banned from the church, he ended up getting tasked with protecting a little boy and bringing him somewhere. I haven't read this book in a long time, but I really do love this story. And I'm pretty sure once I read the third one, I'll be Gucci. But yes. So he ended up pretty much getting this little boy and end up protecting him through the things, and then you end up finding both background stories because they end up literally holding each other down. Okay, so that's what it was. He's protecting her. I'm tripping. He ended up protecting him from like vampires that's after him, and he doesn't really know why. They haven't told him because he's traveling with some other people and they're pretty much just saying, oh, like we just need to protect him. So he ended up getting added into the mess, and he ended up protecting him as much as he can. But as while they're going, they end up finding out things about him that he was never expecting to tell, and he ended up finding out things about this little boy that he's traveling with, that they're trying to hide secrets with, and this little boy could possibly be the end of all vampires. Literally, when I say this story is so good, this story is literally so good. Like, Jay Kristoff did his thing with this, like, such a great book, such a great book. Like, I literally can't wait for the third one to come out. And the thing about it, as fast as he coming out with these books, you would expect his book, like, these series to fall off. I don't want to speak to, okay, let me make sure I knock on some wood, okay, because I don't want to jinx it. But so far with the first and second book, you could tell this man had this in the chamber, and he was just waiting to drop it, because he has not failed on not one. Like, I'm pretty sure I rated the first two books 5 stars, and the third one a potential 5-star. And it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And once I get my copy, I'm picking it up. And I can't wait. I believe it's the final book in the series. It's going to be Empire of Dawn. But we're not talking about that one. We're talking about this one. But yes, there's just so many secrets to be had. This book is such a great book, okay? Pick this up. If you haven't read it already, literally pick this up. I would recommend this book. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Aurora Rising, but I would recommend this book literally before any of Jay Kristoff's books. And I love me some Jay Kristoff. Any one of them. And if you read it, let me know what y'all thoughts were, because I love this book so much. I can't even hold this how freaking big it is. Look, he even be having pictures in here too, that you end up getting to experience, like, the characters and stuff like that. Like, the art it really immersed you into the world. Like, and as dark as these freaking vampires was, I remember there was parts in the story that, there was literally parts in the story that, like, literally, I would say to an extent, like, you would just be like, what the heck? Like, what the heck? Like, the way that vampires get romanticized in the fiction world, like, when you read this one, it kind of, like, throws that out the window for you. You like, dang, they actually get down like that? And that's exactly what Jay Kristoff does. And look at this art. But yes, those are all the books I have for you. It's a lot, so let me do a quick lift. There we go. So yes, those are all the books that I love and are literally my favorite series of all time. Like, I love these series to death. I literally can't wait to read them. Now, just to remind you, these are series that are completed or series that are up to date. I didn't put no series on him because I am reading a couple of series that I feel like are really good, but they're not done. So I don't want to sit there and say, oh, that's my favorite series, and it's not even done, because I might end up hating it after the second, third book. We never know. Okay, we never know. But thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And once again, guys, I'll see you on the next one. And I literally can't wait. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.